John was working in his science lab, got blasted by gamma rays. Now he's Smash Trivia John, always smashing. He's friends with Ruffalo, crushing on Maslany, and also Sydney Sweeney. John's here saying, hello my gamma friends, welcome to the show, the Gamma Analysis Podcast.
Smash.
Hello, my Gamma friends. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies, TV shows, all the movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. Hope you enjoy. Smash Trivia presents the Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening, please do sign for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. Now let's smash right into this episode. Before I tell you what this episode is I do want to say this is the 150th episode of the podcast. So thank you everyone for listening all this time. It's been an incredible journey with y'all. And I've loved going along it with you. Today's episode though is a review of the 70s Incredible Hulk TV show, season 2, episode 12, entitled "A Solitary Place," and we're with Keith. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing good. I've been in a solitary place too long, and I'm glad to talk about it. I'm excited. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Congrats on 150 freaking episodes, man. That's nuts.
Thank you. I was thinking about earlier this month. I was like, what am I gonna do for my 150th episode? And I was like, wait, I'm gonna be doing a Hulk episode is a great thing to be doing for the 150th episode. So I'm very happy with that.
It's perfect. It's a return to form. It's what got it all started. What was your first episode ever? What was it? A Hulk episode?
It was 2003 Hulk.
Right. Good call.
Mm-hmm.
Good call. Yeah. Get that era.
And then the second one was where we started with I started doing the 70s Hulk.
Nice. So right out the gate, pretty much. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Damn, I missed that movie. I haven't seen the 2003 one in so long.
Oh yeah. So what did you think of this episode? I thought this was also a pretty good episode.
Well, I think you mentioned it last episode. We talked about this being what made sense for a mid-season premiere kind of thing. Because it returns to its roots. It talks. It's first time. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's first time we've seen him journal in a long time. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's been a while since he's done any journaling.
Because him journaling, him isolating, and him going into the mountains and kind of reminding us of like that kind of like Edward Norton at the end of his movie Hulk, where he's out in Alaska, like in a cabin, just like trying to go so many days without an incident. And he says right off the bat, 4 weeks with no transformation it's a cool thing to see. And then on top of that, we get to see Jack McGee again. We get to see he has a small moment where he's talking about Carolyn, which kind of came out of left field because that's not even his first wife.
I think it's the Carolyn thing is so interesting. Every time he's mentioned her since that season 2 premiere, he just acts like she's the only wife he's had. It's like he just forgot this all started because of him him having lost his first wife, and that's what made him want to unlock this strength.
Yeah, and not to mention the truest love of his life, the doctor partner that he had at his lab after he lost his wife. What in the hell is her name? And it's making me mad because all I typed in was Incredible Hulk Dr. Baxter, and I was wrong. That's the one who worked at the zoo. And now I'm killing myself. I know the actress's face. I know that she was in Dharma and Greg when I was a kid, and oh my god,
I don't remember.
Doesn't hang on. Incredible Hulk, pilot episode. That's what I gotta look at. The hell was her name? It's gonna bug me. But anyways, before we go off the beaten path too much, what did you think about the fact that he was isolating? Do you think that he should be trying to avoid being the Hulk and control it, or should he let that motherfucker free and find a way to work together?
I think that they should be finding a way to work together. I really think that at this point, Hulk has very much proved himself that he is not a monster. He every time he comes out, he's saving people.
Yeah, 100%. He's and if anything, they're showing him more and more tenderly every time he comes out, because he gets to come out for a little bit longer, and if he's in the wilderness, he gets to pet a little animal.
Yeah, like that's one thing, and I've mentioned it before, I think is a very big problem with this show is how David won't seem to realize that Hulk isn't just this monster. Like everybody else, I think seems to understand a little bit that he's not, but David himself aims to think that the Hulk's just trying to hurt everybody. I'm like, no, that's very clearly not happening.
Yeah, it was tough for me to watch specifically the Elena Marks, Dr. Elena Marks. Sorry, that was bugging me. Dr. Elena Marks was my first crush from this show. I had to bring her back. But anyways, the actress, the character playing Gail in this episode, for example, was the first in a while to scream like an infant, and I'm glad that she calls herself out for it later. But she just gets so scared by the Hulk and doesn't even like take his obvious like, you're gonna die if you don't come with me, helpful hand that he outreaches, and she screams, and it's silly, and it almost made me not like her, but she was pretty cool otherwise. So yeah, it was just like, that was an example of what you're saying about others don't normally look at him as a monster if he's doing good in front of them. Especially with that oil rig episode we saw last, where he just caps an oil well and makes everybody's day and makes sure everybody gets their paycheck. That's such a helpful Hulk.
This episode is probably is honestly one of the only episodes that I at least I can remember where Hulk did anything that's bad, as he sent this a tire at this car. They put destroyed or this guy's throat.
Just hang on a second. That guy's driving destroyed that guy's throat. Joey Lee Curtis in the driver's seat of that Jeep he stopped short. He hit his throat on the steering wheel and then immediately went, my throat, and it was quite comical, but also it was his own damn fault.
I'm not like super mad at Hulk for that. I'm just saying like this is one of the only times where he's done something that led to a bad thing happening, and everything else he is mainly just doing good things, and I think it's just it just really gets annoying that David refuses to realize that kind of thing. And speaking of the doctor that he's with in this episode, it's funny to me that that she never could figure out that David is a doctor.
Yeah. With all the things that he was trying to tell her about her own fake diagnosis, and like explain to her that those elderberries are actually poisonous, and like he knows far too much shit.
He immediately realized that she's on the run as well.
Yeah.
But she could not for the life of her realize that he's on the run, that he's also a doctor.
They even do the same alias trick. Her fake name is Gail Crenshaw. Her real name is Gail Collins, and his name in this episode is what? David. I don't remember now. Shit.
I don't think they like
Solitary
mention
Prince.
it very much in the episode. Was the same as in this one?
No, they don't. They don't. He has no reason to talk about it that much. But I loved their dynamic as far as him calling her out on her bullshit right from the beginning, being like, "Oh, it's almost like you don't have an injury at all. Oh, it comes and goes. Oh, that's very convenient." It's like, do you want to cook this at your place or mine? Like my place or your place. That's what I thought. He was very. He was just very funny with her.
He was absolutely hilarious in this episode. So his last name he gave himself is David Bailey.
Bailey. I knew it was an alcohol. All right, that sounded right. When I heard it, I was like, that sounds delicious. The father and son, Joey and Frank. Again, another episode where we get these characters. It's not a ton of characters, but the ones that we get, we know exactly who they are, exactly where they're coming from right out the gate. That episode we watched with the dirty cops and the wife who was being framed for her husband's murder. I could give a shit about any of those characters. I couldn't find a way to care about them in such a short period of time. Most of them were corrupt, and then there's one character that we're supposed to kind of feel for. Whereas, they used cool flashback techniques with in this episode with Gail dealing with the whole fact that she had gone through this trauma of letting down a patient and letting down her family, and they used all these wide camera angles and like echo the audio to make it feel like it's a nightmare for her to think about. It's very cool. These little tricks, and you kind of know exactly where Frank Malone and his son are coming from. You know exactly where this guy who's helping, I think his name's Raul, this guy helping Jack McGee navigate the area and stuff. He just wants money out of him. He doesn't, oh, you saw the creature yourself as well? Oh, that's your problem. Like, he was just a very charismatic character for Jack McGee to deal with. They were all pretty you knew who these people were in a short span of time.
Absolutely.
We still spent all our time with David and Gail at the little cabin, the little hut that he had built. Yeah.
I talked a little bit last episode about how these two episodes were that we're reviewing today, they feel like they have a lot more locations than normal. Oh, this one in particular, I think they did a lot with different locations. We had the Mexico locations. We had the hospital that Gail was working in. We have was it San Diego? I think where the father and son on were or at one point. They also had had scenes of her or on trial. It's I feel like this episode it feels like it had a higher budget than normal.
Yeah, it feels like it's like when you watch like the most, and I probably could pick apart other shows similarly, but the show that comes to mind when I think of like the disparity of budget between episodes, like Game of Thrones. They would plot out that season and go, okay, well, we want a big battle to happen on episode 9. So let's save our budget for that. And it's like, you can tell there's certain reasons where certain episodes need a bit bigger budget and other ones, you know what, we can get away with this one being a much lower budget because it's only in one place and we're running around in the woods near a canyon for the majority of the rest of the episode. It's not a whole lot of locations needed. So it's smart to see and think about the production staff or the studio going, okay, this episode can be this much. This one can be our big budget one. And this does feel like you say, it feels like a mid-season premiere because of how much goes into it, not only story-wise and returning back to a season 1 kind of feel, but also how many locations they shoot at. Yeah, and to build that little hut out there, to have David sporting Nikes as he's fixing his roof on that hut, like even just to see some Nike, maybe that's how they got their budget back. It's the first time I've ever seen or clocked product placement in an episode of the Hulk, by the way. I'm sure
I
there's
didn't
been a
even
billion
know
of them, but
I didn't even know that Nikes were a thing back in the 70s.
oh my gosh, yeah. He had like little
I don't know
brown
when
Nikes.
they
It was
started
funny. It was
that
interesting.
brand, but yeah.
You know, it's also just really funny watching him walk around like an outdoorsman living in the woods for well, not months, but a month, and he's got like brown bell bottoms and a tucked in like button up shirt, and you're just like, this guy's a woodsman. I love it. Carrying his little fish on a stick.
Speaking of clothing, and like anything really on people's bodies, is when near the end of the episode, I feel like basically all of the people in Jack McGee's company, all at least at some point got thrown into the water. None of them are wet afterwards at all. Their clothes are not wet at all. Their clothes are clean. Okay, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, getting thrown in that muddy water, and then it's like, oh, by the way, it's 1979, so we're gonna take about an hour or 2 hours before we can set up the next shot. So, do you want some dry clothes to stand around in, or are you good? And it's just like, I'll take the dry ones. Yeah, take your time setting up the.
I kind of wonder with the like the Hulk scenes from this episode. I wonder if they would have had to use a different kind of paint than what they normally use because of it raining. Like that's interesting to me because I would not be surprised if what they normally use is not waterproof or something.
That paint does not budge every episode we watch. It's weird because there's certain ones where like his face makeup might look a little thinner than the rest of them, but that's about all I see. And it could be the lighting that makes it look that way. But like same as him being in the fire in the wildfire episode, like what conditions did they have to have, and how many different products did Lou have on his skin for the duration of this show? It would be interesting to see.
Right. One thing I find really funny from the first Hulk out is Hulk randomly just throws a boulder out of the out of their little hut.
Just throws a boulder, the boulder that crashed through the ceiling. To me, that's him and David working together, going that if it wasn't for that fucking boulder, our roof would have been fine. I'm gonna have to go up there in my Nikes and try to repair it tomorrow. And just total frustration. Get that boulder into the stratosphere.
And then when Hulk is leaving this little old hut that was made, he particularly breaks one piece of wood off the door area.
I noticed that too.
It felt to me like Lou realizing as he's filming, he's like, oh wait, I'm supposed to smash stuff. Bam, and breaks a piece of wood.
I took it as his frustration, like he's getting out a slight bit of frustration after she screams for David and like screams in his face as he's trying to help her out of a dire situation. She could die. She was already knocked out unconscious. Like anything else could come through that ceiling, lady. And then she just kind of screams her head off at him, and then he just leaves. He's like, damn, fucking piece of wood. Yeah. The part that made me laugh even more was they always have to have this low angled shot of Lou Ferrigno when he first transforms, and he stands there so brooding and so massive, and then he's got the David shirt on, and he takes the David shirt. I can't remember if it's this one or the last one. Regardless, the thing he does, he like flexes, he yells, he's all in slow-mo, and then he notices he's got the tattered, ripped shirt on, and he just goes like, get off me. Just kind of this, like, he tosses it aside like a shawl or something. Yeah. It's really funny.
Oh man. Later in the episode, he throws this guy into the water, and then I think it's really funny. He growls at the guy, but the guy is obviously so far away from him that he's not gonna hear it. So it's like, what was the point of threatening the guy like that?
I mean, when you gotta growl, you gotta growl. I mean, that's just him showing that Hulk rage, right?
These two episodes we watched for today, like I had such a fun time watching these. They really were fun episodes and odes and funny episodes.
Yeah, it's peak Incredible Hulk. It feels very much like what made me fall in love with the show to begin with. Like there's moments that show the time that it's shot in so well with some of the dialogue.
Mhm.
Like there's like him talking to Gail, and she says, "Has being stranded out here with me been that bad?" And he goes, "I won't lie to you. You're very attractive. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't tempted." And I was thinking the whole time, what the fuck did she ask? Like, what do you mean she's been tempted? Like, I know what he's saying and I know what she's asking, but it's just like, it's this funny moment where he's just like, "I really do need to be alone more. So if you could just get the fuck out of here, that'd be great." It's like, of course she's attractive. She's into him. She's
uh,
into him.
the, another thing that's very much a sign of the time is the guy that just wants money out of Jack McGee.
Yeah.
He finds it just as ridiculous. The idea of a woman doctor as he finds the idea of Hulk.
I didn't notice that. What did he
He
say?
said like uh, yeah, but after right after like how saying after the whole thing of like him acting like the like Hulk was this crazy thing. Jack McGee mentioned that they're also looking for this female doctor, and he acted like that was a ridiculous concept.
A female doctor? Now I've heard everything. Yeah.
It's like wow, dude.
Yeah. We know what time we're in and what country. The
Oh man.
I gotta respect the fact that David goes out to be alone to try and figure out things for himself with the Hulk. There is a certain, like, Gale is far too nosy, and I know he wants to get rid of her for the majority of the episode, but Gale is far too nosy. But to go out and be alone, I do believe that humans were not meant to be alone. I think we're
Mm-hmm.
by nature very social creatures. But I do respect temporary solitary kind of confinement to kind of recenter yourself if you're going through something. So it was nice to see him seeking solitude, much like we've seen him in the comic books and in other movies, try and figure things out. It was refreshing to see him do that route instead of constantly be just bopping city to city helping people and not really be looking for a solution anymore. It used to be that he was seeking out a doctor here or a trank dart there or some kind of therapy here.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since we've seen him try to look for solutions, which he's only going to get closer to realizing he needs the Hulk when he looks inward, I think.
I would hope that at some point he realizes that. I don't
Yeah.
know. It doesn't feel like it's actually leading towards anything. It just feels like it's like he is a stagnant character.
Yeah, yeah. He would pet so few rabbits if he never turned into the Hulk again, and that alone is a good reason.
One thing I really like with this episode is how it shows both David and Hulk's care for animals. It's like with them, with David, dealing with traps and ops and throwing about Hulk actually getting an animal out of a trap and then holding it. Like I just really like that a lot. As I've said many times, I think soft Hulk moments like that are some of the best Hulk moments.
It's like the Frankenstein's monster thing, where he's out there realizing that there's more to this world than just awful, scary fire and angry mobs. There's nature, and there's people that need his help, and there's little rabbits that need his help too. I'm not sure that this rabbit would be in the same ecosystem as the macaw bird that was above him for 5 seconds, but it did look very northern and southern at the same time, all in the same ecosystem, which
Oh,
was interesting.
no, no. One thing, we this time we talked about a little bit about. I think last episode. I don't think we talked like much about with this episode yet, but with like differences between today and back in the 70s, is one thing that I think is interesting is how today there's no way someone on the run would have just been able to get into Mexico without like showing his ID off or anything like that. I wonder if maybe in the 70s is you could just cross borders without an ID.
Well, I think if anything, David probably got down there illegally, and probably hopped some
Maybe.
fences or just trudged through some rivers and got his ass over there. But it's hard to say. He's a resourceful guy, but I also know that he had Nikes and a hammer in the woods in Mexico. So I don't know where he's going for his hardware or his planks of wood that he was fixing his roof with. I was like, so he knows where the hardware store is, but no one's
He also
questioning
had he also
where this
had a
gringo
little
came from.
he also had a little table in his hut that definitely
I,
didn't seem like he just made that out of a piece of wood.
IKEA. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, now, one thing that I think it's a cool little reference, and it's in the episode is he actually mentioned one of his previous his adventures. As he said that he worked with a football team aim as their training and like doctor thing.
Yeah.
So that was a cool little reference.
Yeah, and I think in the last one too, he harkens back. Someone, I think Linda brings up, "Oh, you used to be a cab driver too, and then this place and that place." Like she was going, they were going through a couple of his past moments, and maybe that was just a lie that he made up. I don't remember if he was a cab driver in New York. That
I don't
seems pretty
think so.
exposed. So he was just making shit up, and I bought it. That's how good of a liar he is. But
Because
the
when he was in New York, he was working at the arcade.
yes, by the docks, if I remember correctly.
I
Um,
think actually the arcade was on Times Square. It was meant to be on that street. I don't know.
I like
Forgetting.
the other Hulk Easter egg that they drew attention to is when Joey Malone injures his throat on the steering wheel. They say, "Oh, what's wrong with him?" And they say throat smash.
Mhm.
So he's
Oh yeah.
like a Hulk smash, but to the throat. It
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
directly.
I like this episode again shows how shows the fact that though Jack McGee is technically an antagonist for the show, he's not a bad guy.
No, he's a hero in this moment.
Because he even though he wants to go after the Hulk, he's willing to stop so that they can go to take this guy to the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the first one to think of the idea of Dr. Collins helping Joey
Mhm.
in the instance that he needs it instantly. Like it's great to see that Jack cares about people. He doesn't barely
Yeah.
knows these people. They've given him no reason to like them, but he is with them, and therefore he's not going to just let them die or let them be injured.
I I kind of wonder we talk about how David kind of being this stagnant character where he doesn't seem to ever realize that the Hulk is a good guy. I kind of wonder if Jack McGee will ever like realize that at like even more so than David, Jack McGee should absolutely understand know that Hulk has saved people so many times because he's talked to so many people that Hulk saved.
Yeah, I mean, even just seeing, he teams up with these guys out of desperation, but on the drive, you see him slowly have less and less trust for the guy driving because he's got this gun with him. Okay, what's the gun for? And he's just like, just in case. And he doesn't really give any answers, but it's like, okay, so you can't shoot this woman. That's crazy. You just
Mm-hmm.
she's a surgeon, and the way that David puts it earlier in the episode, you're a surgeon and you're a human being. And the fact that you made a mistake, that you did not succeed in saving his life, is because you're a surgeon and you're a human being. And it's like, that's a normal thing to happen sometimes. It sucks. Surgeons aren't miracle workers. That's crazy.
Yeah, that her being on the run is one thing where I do think it's a little bit of a weird thing for the episode because if a surgeon and messes up in their in a surgery, most likely what would happen is they would just lose their medical license. They wouldn't be like and become a fugitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what made her run, or maybe she just couldn't live it down. Some surgeons, I'm sure, they lose people on the table and they have a certain regimen for dealing with it, but she just
definitely not like something that's so crazy that you have to flee the country into Mexico for.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. And to be like, why was she on that magazine? Because she was good at her job, or because she fucked up once?
I'm pretty sure that was just like about like one of her achievements that was on the magazine. So, but yeah, it's interesting. Like that's really interesting. Like why? I get they wanted to have this idea of both these people are on the run, but I really do feel like this what she did is not nearly sign that would put her on the run. What David did isn't really sign that would warrant all the things that is here.
Yeah. And what did you think of the father's turnaround with her so quickly? Just because she could potentially be the only one to save her son with a emergency tracheotomy, and the father's just like, "Thank you. I know I was trying to drive over you a minute ago and was going to maybe shoot you in the face for killing my daughter, even though."
People can change quick when they have when it's a situation where they might lose another child.
That's right. And we know fathers often favor their sons over their daughters as well, so that's probably what it was. It's just up the ante. It's like, oh shit, you let my daughter die, but my son, you can save him? Thank goodness.
I think
just like Jamie Lee Curtis.
I think it was more so he'd just be like, I lost one kid, I'm not losing another.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I don't think he was trying to be. Oh man,
I'm just fucking around.
Let's see. And what else is there about this episode I want to talk about?
Survival tips: don't eat elderberries before they ripen, and eat fish every night. You'll never get sick of it because fish always tastes different.
I love how he just immediately clocked the fact that she wasn't limping anymore when she got those elderberries, and she's like, "Oh, it comes and goes. Yeah, it comes and goes."
Yeah, definitely. No limp, therefore no pain. No pain, therefore maybe no injury. I really, yeah. He calls her out quite a few times, and that's always my favorite part.
It's hilarious how like he is so done with her bullshit.
Yeah. He wants nothing more than to be alone in this moment, and it is strange that it doesn't come. I mean, and that's the thing too, is these episodes seem like they could happen in any order, right? Yeah. Normally you'd expect a character to want to self-isolate because they'd done something terrible, but the last thing that he did was cap that oil rig and save everybody's lives and save everybody's fortune, and then he got the hell out of there before his paycheck. And it's just like, oh, you had a really good episode. Why are you going out to the fucking Mexican woods?
And there are absolutely episodes where they they didn't actually end up releasing in the when they were supposed to, like like the episode with the abusive father or a child in need. That was a season 2 episode, but it was originally meant to be a season 1 episode, and for some reason they had to delay it. They had to delay it for some reason.
That must be one of the biggest arguments for making them such self-contained episodic things, where it's like, okay, if you can make a show this way, You're going to have a lot less struggle when something goes wrong, because we're going to a lot of locations. We're doing a lot of special effects. We got to spend time on that. And it's like things can go wrong. So make it so that this episode could really go anywhere in the run order. And it does seem like they can do that for the most part. Does it mean that I want them to always be that way? No, I would like to see some progression like we saw with this episode with Jack McGee and him getting a step closer and a step closer. And I know he's not really progressing that much in catching the Hulk, but any episode with Jack McGee means something more for his own catalog of experiences with the Hulk, right? And you can see him kind of soften to the idea that the Hulk might not be so bad. Maybe I don't need to go save people from him. It's just about me satisfying my own curiosity at this point.
If one thing with Jack McGee, I find this episode is because of him being in Mexico, him being a reporter for the National Register has no sway at all. Like they're because I remember there being a particular moment in the episode where he's like, "Oh, I'm with the National Register," and someone was like, "Okay, I don't care."
Yeah, I don't care.
That's not special.
Yeah. And the fact that he's like definitely obsessed with the Hulk at this point, where he is funneling all of his own personal money into it. He's not getting any kind of he's not filing any expense reports for his trip down Mexico way. It'd be kind of crazy. No one's asked him to do this anymore, I think.
Oh man. Let's see. Is there anything else with this episode that you want to talk about?
I really loved Jack McGee's delivery on the line when Raul comes running out of the bushes when they're about to drive away, and he's like, wait, don't leave me out here. And he's like, I thought you wanted to walk. It's a nice day. And they drive off. I was like, that's a great ending to the episode, but no one can deliver a line like that quite like the actor playing Jack McGee. So thank you, Jack Colvin, for being such an awesome dude to be playing such a small part in this show so far.
One thing. Apparently, even though we've had moments in the past where Hulk gets a little happy for one reason or another, apparently this is actually the first time in the series where Hulk actually smiled when he's holding a rabbit. So that's nice. Let's see. I'm right now looking at the trivia page on IMDb. So apparently, Gail Collins was in that particularly that last name, I think, is a nod to the actress who played her spent many years as a cast member on the Dark Shadows TV show.
Yes, yeah, I knew that she had done horror, as well as she was Catherine in the movie adaptation, not the Leo DiCaprio version, but the 1970s version of The Great Gatsby, which we had to watch in 10th grade. I did remember her face. I was like, why do I know her from something? And then yeah, she was the lead actress in The Great Gatsby. Very, very, very charismatic, even though she played not my favorite love interest in this series. She was very lovable as well, because she was quite funny in the show.
Also one thing is, I think it's fun is Hulk actually flips an entire car in this episode, or the Jeep into the water. I think that's nice. He usually doesn't get that isn't able to get an entire car. He usually just takes a piece off the side or something.
True. It was a nice chuck. It was him going in the previous episode, or no, in this same episode, he chucked that boulder, and then he was like, "Oh man, I wonder what else I can chuck." And then he chucked Jeeps. He's like, "Oh wow, I'm so much stronger than I thought."
Oh man. I don't think there's really much else to say for this episode. Thinking since this is the 150th episode of podcast, I so want to do a little something extra for this episode. What do you think? Maybe like doing some Mad Libs, maybe.
Do it. Give
Let's
me a
see.
Mad Lib.
Let me pull up the
I
Mad
love that
Libs
idea.
site.
I just realized the actor who plays Jack McGee is also in one of the movies I watched with my dad growing up all the time, called Jeremiah Johnson. Again with Robert Redford, just like The Great Gatsby. Crazy. The 70s, man. Everybody was working together, apparently. I know he was also in Child's Play. Chucky.
Here is, let's see. This one is a serial killer Mad Lib. So, all right, we need
Okay, cool.
an adjective.
Damp.
Okay. Another adjective for this one. I'll go strong.
Nice.
We need a number.
43.
All right. Now, famous person. And I'll go with Bruce Banner.
Elon Musk. Yeah. Bruce Banner. No, that's smarter.
A plural noun.
Ooh, penises.
Okay. That's gonna be
No reason.
That's gonna be funny since the next one that I have to do is a body part.
Perfect.
All right. For this one, we will do tits. Oh God. Next we need a noun.
Billy Goat.
Okay. Okay. Oh, and I have to give a name to the serial killer.
Ooh.
Let's see. The Gamma Beast. We need a another body part. This one on plural.
Shoulder blades.
Okay. All right. And now I need to do an adjective. I'll do green. Well, we need another adjective.
Talented.
Okay. All right. I need to do a noun. I'll just do Hulk for that noun.
Nice.
We need another number.
Ooh, 69.
All right.
Class.
And then I have another noun to do. So what to do? What to do? Head.
Oh.
And then finally we have one last number.
2.
Okay, 2. All right, let's go mad. All right, so all right. Robert Forster was a damp man. He was always a strong type of man. He never hurt anyone until 43 years ago. He was even the one who killed Bruce Banner. He used different things to murder people with, even penises. He once even shoved a man's titty into a billy goat. He was inspired by the Gamma Beast. He took souvenirs from his victims, such as shoulder blades. He then was caught by a green policeman because of the talented smell coming from his Hulk. He had over 69 bodies in his head. He was sent to prison for 2 life terms.
Oh, just 2. That's nice. I'm sure he'll be out soon then. It was 43 years ago. Goodness, he'll be out really soon.
Let's see.
Weird. Talented smell. That's awesome.
Let's see. Let's do a bad day. A Mad Libs.
Okay.
I need an adjective.
Chatty.
Okay. I'm going to do a verb ending ed. Punked.
Nice.
I need an adverb. Don't remember what an adverb is.
I think it's a description of an action word, so it's sluggishly.
Okay. All right, I have to do another verb ending in ed. Groaned.
Nice.
Then I need a noun.
Caterpillar.
All right, I need to do another verb ending in ed. What? Spanked. All right, I need another adjective.
I will say stunning.
All right. We need and I gotta do a noun. So farm. I need a verb ending in ing.
Spewing.
Okay.
I was gonna say puking, but I think spewing is funnier personally.
Yeah, I have to do one as well. Milking. All right. I need an adverb.
Hastefully.
Uh,
Hastefully or hastily? Hang on. Hastily or hastefully? I'm gonna Google this. Hastily. Sorry.
okay. All right. I gotta do an adjective. Pink. I need an adjective from you.
Uh Persistent.
Okay. And then I have another adjective. So, stanky. I need another adjective from you.
Dirty.
Okay. I got another adjective. Crunchy.
Nice.
I, I need a noun.
Ballpoint pen.
Okay. Now I need to do a verb ending in ed. Let's see. Frowned. We need a noun.
Pecan sandies.
Okay.
I'm here to throw you the weirdest fucking suggestions I can.
All right. Let's see. I have an adjective to do. Windy. I need a place.
Oh, Los Pollos Hermanos.
Los Pollos.
You can write that out as phonetically as you need.
Los Pollos. What was the last word?
Her. Wait, let me make sure I got this right. Los Pollos. It's supposed to be the Chicken Brothers from Breaking Bad, the restaurant. Hermanos. Sorry. Los Pollos Hermanos.
Okay.
Like Herman and then OS at the end. Yeah.
And I need to do a direction action. So I'll go northwest, I guess. I need the name of a city.
Guadalajara.
Guadalajara. Okay. All right. I need to do an adverb. I'll do pointily. I need a verb ending in ed.
Chunked.
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 Okay.
The past tense of the act of chunking.
Okay. I also have one of those, so I'm gonna do killed.
Nice.
I need another verb ending in ed.
Oh wow. Plucked.
Okay, plucked. And then I have one last one, and I'll do for this one kissed.
Nice.
And then and our last thing is I need a noun.
Elderberry.
Okay. All right. Let's go mad. All right. So my chatty day started when I punked up late for work. I sluggishly groaned out the caterpillar. I spanked into stunning traffic. The cars were farm to farm. People were spewing and milking at each other to go faster. When I hastily made it to work, my pink, persistent, stinky, dirty boss told me if I was late one more time, I was fired. If that wasn't bad enough, the crunchy ballpoint pen and frowned as after pecan sandies is I headed towards the windy little Los Pollos Hermandos those in the northwest end of Guadalajara.
Yes.
The Los Pollos Hernandos was pointily empty. I chunked on the swings and killed high into the air. I plucked off the swing and kissed up. It was all just a elderberry.
Strangely, I knew exactly what you meant.
Oh man!
Sounded like a summer I had a couple years ago.
Okay. Oh. All right. You want to do one last one?
Sure, let's do it.
I love it. This is gonna be a television themed one.
All right.
All right. So we need a noun.
Megabus.
Okay.
Larger than a
And
regular bus.
I have a place, so I will go with Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
I need a silly word.
Fandangle.
All right. Angle.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. I gotta do a verb. Punch. I need a noun.
Taint.
Did you say taint or paint?
Taint.
All right. I have a feeling even if you had said paint, you probably would have changed it to taint. I didn't.
I did immediately.
Oh man. All right. I have to do another verb. Let's see. Squanch. I wonder if very many people will even know what that's a reference to. Squanchy is a character from Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Okay, yeah.
And he says he squanches things all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, what else would he do? It makes perfect sense to me.
We did adjective.
Gregarious.
All right. I have to do an adjective as well. So I'll do dragonoid. All right. Give me a number.
7.
All right. I have to do another adjective. So I'll go with teeny tiny.
Nice.
All right. I need an adverb.
Stinkily.
Okay. All right. I have to do another adjective. So I'll go with quaint.
Nice.
I need another adjective.
Eccentric.
All right. And then I'll be doing numbers. So I will do 81.
Nice. Classic.
I need a measurement of time.
Millisecond.
All right. I have another adjective to do. So I'll do hulkish. I have another adjective for you.
Cheesy.
Cheesy?
Cheesy.
Oh, cheesy.
Like it ain't easy being cheesy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have to do another adjective. Pansy. All right. I need a noun.
Ooh. Pizza.
All right. Now we have to add it off 2 numbers. So for mine, I will go with 0. What do you want for a
21.
number? All right. Let's go mad. So this all right. It sounds like this is gonna be like a commercial. So is your megabus making a mess of your Hershey, Pennsylvania? Try Fandangle. It will punch your whole taint and squanch to unbelievable levels. Watch as we demonstrate the gregarious capabilities of this Dragonoid product. Everyone should have at least 7 of these. To order, call the number on your screen. Teeny tiny phone attendants will stinkily take your request. Quaint and eccentric service will be yours. Call within the next 81 milliseconds, and you will receive a hawkish cheesy pansy pizza as a bonus. Absolutely free for an additional value of $0 plus shipping and a handling cost of $21. Act now.
What was the pizza called? What kind of pizza?
A hawkish cheesy pansy pizza.
Print it. That has to be an idea. Let's get the patented instantly.
Like I feel like like that pizza like it kind of works except for the word pansy. I don't know how that fits in. Like I feel like I feel like I feel like without that word, it's just an extremely big cheese pizza.
Well, I think that the word pansy is close enough to panzerotti as well as personal pan. So pansy pizza, give me that cheesy Hulk pansy pizza, please. Hell yeah.
Oh man! All right, that's everything I have to say for this episode of the podcast. Thank you again, Keith, for joining me. And thank you everyone again for listening for 150 episodes of the podcast. Yeah, is there any final thing you'd like to say before I end this off?
It's truly awesome that you've done 150 episodes. I'm happy to be a part of some of them, and I'm excited to do many more episodes of Hulk with you, especially. But I'm sure we'll pick up some other stuff on the way. But it's great to share something from the 70s with somebody who was born just not that long after that. So I'm happy to be of service.
Oh man! Everyone, thank you for listening. If you like this game analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode. Please let me know. If you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more game analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Master John, signing off.